Welcome back to another episode, and in this episode I'm going to go ahead put on the minor things like the spark plugs, the coil packs, and I'll be putting on the wiring harness. As far as the transmission goes, I'm going to put out the throwout bearing, a few little sensors here and there, do a little bit of tidy cleanup here, and then pretty much the engine's now finally going to go in here now. So I'm very excited. As far as putting the engine back connected to the transmission, this is gonna be my first time doing this method, because the last time I pulled out the engine, I pulled out the transmission with the engine. And I do remember when the transmission was out, when it was time to connect the transmission with the engine, trying to align, these teeth right here with these right here. It did take me a little while, even with the with the transmission out, but with this scenario it's gonna be a little bit different. So it's gonna be the opposite of what I did. So I'm thinking this is gonna be a little bit more difficult to try to get that aligned with that right there. So I'm gonna see how long it's gonna take, but it'll be interesting for sure to do it this different method. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and put everything together where it needs to be, and yeah, just a little bit this close now. So I'm gonna go ahead and change out the crank sensor. So this is, I labeled it as a 3. Again, I've been labeling some sensor connectors like numbers, so I know where they go on the wiring harness. So this is 3, this is 4, this is 6, and just to help me out, it's pretty much just to help me out when I put the wiring harness, because there's so many connections. It just helps. I know I just said, I'm repeating myself again. Just helps me where each connection goes, and it'll be kind of obvious, because it'll be color coded, and they're all slightly different sizes, but just that extra helps. So pretty much to replace this, there is a a bolt right here that gets replaced, and then I get to put on the new one. So that's pretty much all it is for the transmission goes. I'm going to do a little bit more cleaning here, and then install the throwout bearing. Going a little bit off topic, so something that I've seen online where people ask how to bleed the clutch. So I'm going to show you real quick. So this is right here, your slave cylinder right here. So this line right here, managing connect, and this all uses the same reservoir as your brake fluid. So you'll be using your brake fluid to bleed the slave cylinder, and it's there's a little cap right here, and right there's a little nipple. So you turn this pretty much through the same process you do with your brake fluid, and that's how you bleed your slave cylinder, if you're wondering. And right now is definitely a good time to do that right now, since I have all this open space. But when the engine is in the car, the way to do it is, you gotta come from down here to turn this little nipple right here. Changed out with the new crank sensor, fairly easy to change out in this state. Here's the new throwout bearing that came with the Ringer Racing clutch. Fairly simple. Tighten up the screw, cleaned up inside the bell housing. I do have the spark plugs all installed now on all 8 cylinders, and I went ahead and covered up anyways, so you can see they're all installed in there. And I just went ahead, until I put in the coil packs, I'll go ahead and remove the tape and the towels inside. And this is the spark plugs I used, 8 of these, and they're gapped to 0.03. And here is the part number. Next, I'm going to go ahead and install the wiring harness. So when I was actually removing the engine, I actually removed the wiring harness while the engine was still installed. But this go around, I want to install the wiring harness while it's out, because just easier access to what needs to be connected and whatnot. To help you, not be too stressed out of the wiring harness, is connect first where things are going to go. So I know, where the coil packs are going to go. You have to be careful if it's on the driver's side or the passenger side. Just know that, just pretend right here, the ECU sits right here. So obviously the route for the coil packs is, so you don't get confused, is that the coil pack that's longer will probably have a longer extension to reach these ones. And then on this one, the extension will be slightly shorter. So, and then with there, it kind of helps you to know, will branch off and know what connection needs to go over here, And off of the other set of coil packs, you know, he'll branch off to like what connections have to go on this end. And then there you can use, you know, connect what you know where they need to go. And then whatever you don't know or you question, you can always see, you know, so like here for the alternator, I don't even have it taped or numbered, but I'll have to look for a connection that's, you know, whatever, you know, is whatever connections are left, they're unconnected, to see, okay, what connects to this alternator, and then so on, kind of a thing. Hope that makes sense. And to give an actual physical example, so pretend that the engine's like right here. So we know that the ECU is on this side, and then here on the driver's side, as I was saying, you know, the coil pack harnesses is a shorter line compared to the, you know, the passenger side for the coil packs and whatnot. So here, you know, everything that's on this side will be connected on the driver's side. So you know, okay, so I know how to find the matching connections that go on this side. As far as the passenger side, there is a lot more stuff going on, but this right here, you know, can eliminate. Okay, I know this goes, you know, towards the upper, you know, engine, and right here, if I follow this will, you know, connect to like my starter, my alternator, and the ground. And then this one right here pretty much is pretty self-explanatory. This will connect to the battery. So, you know, if you can lay it out like this, it's not that bad when connecting the wiring harness back onto the engine. Alright, so here's the progress with the wiring harness. So now I made things even simpler. So go ahead, install the coil packs first on each side, so the driver's side and the passenger side, and that's pretty much lays the layout of where things go. So I know these are going to be the fuel injectors, and these right here, you know, for the AC, and this knock sensors right here. On this side again, the injectors on this side. And I got the knock sensors, you know, connections right here. So here is the AC, the ECU on this side. The cam, you know, positioning sensor that goes, you know, right there. You know, right here, you know, I have the connector for the washer fluid, you know, pump. As I go on this side, you know, here I have the connections that go towards, you know, the connections that go here when you're looking at the engine. And also, I kind of skipped around, but you know, the connections right here, you know, that go on this part of the engine when you're looking at the engine. You know, here I have this ground wire, so I have to remember where this goes. You know, and right here, you know, this little ground wire that connects right here. Here, you know, this leads me to the connections, you know, for what, you know, the alternator, the starter. So, you know, I have, you know, the alternator ground, you know, the ground to the frame. Here's the alternator, you know, and stuff like, and here's, you know, what I label where they go. So it's pretty much like laid out, and then this goes to the positive terminal on the battery. Okay, I want to show you guys a little tip here. So this right here is for the grounding, and it goes right here. Because I did paint this right here, the engine block, I'm gonna go ahead and sand down just this part right here so it has a good ground connection with this grounding right here. Alright, so I went ahead and, you know, sanded down a little bit, and also this connection, so now I'll make a better grounding connection. On the passenger side, the wiring can be a little bit tricky, so I'll go ahead and explain everything. So you have the connection for the alternator, and off the connection right here you have a ground wire, and this ground wire right here is what will connect to this right here. So when you're looking at the engine on the passenger side, again, that goes right there, this ground wire. And then you follow, now the next will be the ground wire for the alternator. So this will actually carry on, will follow through. If you follow it through, we'll go over here towards the starter. So on this side we'll have that little L-shaped connection, so that will be on this side of the starter. And then the starter itself will also have a ground wire and also the connection right there. So that's pretty much it for this side. So on this side, that's all left for me to, so I still need to do the oil pan. If you have the OEM engine mounts, that's what this is, but I have like a little cap. But if you have the Jackal tune, there's no need to have this cap because they actually delete this part on the tune. And if you have the SAI pump, that's what this connection is. Because I deleted it, I went ahead and just taped this off, and that's pretty much it. Alright, so Now I'm going to go ahead and install the engine finally. So I did a little bit of organization. As you can see, I have the engine, the car crossway, so I can go ahead and insert the engine straight on. So I had it before was, so obviously I had the car right here. When I pulled out the engine, I did it at an angle. So I had it, the engine right here, and then I have the engine stand coming out at an angle right here. So I was able, so that took a little while to dismount the engine from the transmission that way, but I was able to do it. But when it's time to install the engine, I figured if I were to do that same way, I'll definitely maybe take longer and it might be a struggle. So I went ahead and got these little wheel dollies so I can go ahead and push the car sideways. I moved all the cars out of the garage. So now I have room to go with the engine into the car straight on. I went ahead and moved, all the hoses, whatever connections out of the way. And I went and insert the bolts, all the bolts where they belong, with the exception of the bottom 3. So the bottom 3 I'll install those last, and then I went ahead and also your little gasket, whatever transmission seal, can't remember what this thing is called, but that's installed. So what I'm going to do is try to do my best to come in straight on and use these as guidance to go straight on. So I have the transmission in neutral right now, so I'm able to move these, because what you need to do is align the teeth on these with the teeth right here. So by leaving this in neutral, it should be easy to, so I'm going to go ahead and look at how this, because I can't turn this at all, so I'm going to look how the teeth are on this and try to match it to look like what it is on the clutch disc. I hope this works, this method. Hopefully this method would work. Again, this is the first time I'm ever doing this method where I have to install the engine with the transmission already in, because before I had the transmission already installed onto the engine, and I installed both of them into the car. So I think I know what I'm doing, but we'll see.
I knew exactly what to do, but in a much more real sense, I had no idea what to do.
I'm actually going to do a time lapse of this install. I might look very awkward and goofy, so hopefully it doesn't take that long. Hopefully it's not like a 5-minute time lapse. Hopefully I get it, and I'll time myself too. And then at the end, once it's installed, I'll go ahead and stop the timer and see how long it really took me to install this. So I will be real with you guys, how long this really took me to install, with this method being my first time. Is finally installed. It took me actually 4 tries to finally get the engine installed. The first try was on a Friday, so a week ago from recording this. A week ago, so Friday, that took me almost 4 hours to get installed, and that was a complete fail. Like I said, I put in the time lapse just because it looks cool. Then the following day I attempted it again. This time didn't take almost 4 hours. I did like about 2.5 hours, and that just burnt me out. So again, failed. The third time was the following day, which was a Sunday. Failed again. So then a week goes by, so yesterday actually I got it installed. So yesterday was Friday, so New Year's Eve. Finally got it installed, but this time I did something different that I didn't do the first 3 times. I didn't record the 4th time. Attempting to install the 4th time, which was actually successful. I didn't end up recording any footage, but I'll say what I did slightly different than the first 3 tries. So since again I had the engine out, the transmission was still in, so I went ahead, and used the floor jack to go ahead and lift up the transmission as high as it can go, before it makes contact with up here. And then I got the angle that the transmission was, and then with the hoist, with the engine hoist, I had to go ahead and match that angle. So I had to you know, play with, if I picked it up from here, what angle do I get? If I picked it up from here, what angle do I get? Or here, and then so on. So I ended up finding, you know, somewhere in the chains where was the best, what was the closest angle to match the transmission. I do apologize, it's probably a horrible example, but just so you guys can visualize, see what I'm talking about. So this is the transmission, this is the engine. The first 3 times, you know, I had the, you know, the transmission, you know, up as high as it can. As far as the engine, I just had it on the engine hoist at whatever chain link, you know, I had, and it wasn't matching, so I had to like forcefully with my hand try to, you know, get at the right angle, and that just wasn't working. That was really burning me out. So what I did on the 4th time is like I just described, hooking up with the chains, you know, trying to get the closest angle when the hoist picks up the engine, to get the closest angle that I can. And then that's one thing I did different, so I can match that, you know, get the same angle to match. And then while I was doing that, I was still having I was about to give up actually, but I was like, I'm pretty sure I have a good feeling I'm really this close. So I ended up actually removing the engine mount support with the sway bar. So this part right here, that's connected, you know, to the engine mount right here, and then the sway bar, I'll post a picture of what I mean. Once I removed the engine mount, it gave me so much more room with the engine, because the screws on the bottom of the engine mount, there's these screws, if you can see that right there. So those screws right there, they're bumping up or scraping against this, and it was kind of like offsetting the engine, you know, this way or that way. So when I removed those, actually within like the few, like, I want to say about 20 minutes, it just came together. So that was a huge success right there. My advice, if this is your first time taking out the engine and leaving the transmission in, that'll be my advice. You know, do your best to get the angle of the transmission with the engine, and then remove the engine mounts with the sway bar connection. Another thing I did to help with the engine install, I went ahead and removed the engine, the oil filter housing. Took it out of the way because it was just giving me so much, I didn't have enough room, and it was kind of like, you know, caught with room. So I moved that out of the way, and that gave me all this extra room when I needed. And I also loosened up this harness right here. So I went ahead and just unbuckled the harness, which connects to this screw right here. So that gives me a little bit more wiggle room, so I can see down inside, and also get to the top 2 bolts for connect the transmission onto the engine. With all that said, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and you guys have a good one.